What up, y'all? I'm standing in the heart of the French Quarter, right on Bourbon Street, right outside of Dickie Brennan's Bourbon House. And this is where you'll find something that New Orleans is famous for all over the world: oysters. This is good gumbo. In a place that has just as much water as land, we take full advantage of what comes out of that water, especially these oysters. We eat them raw, fried, grilled, in a po' boy. But there is one crown jewel that's made famous here in New Orleans. It's called the Oyster Rockefeller. It was created in 1889 at Antoine's restaurant. At that time, there was a shortage of the French favorite escargot. So the chef got creative and substituted something there was no shortage of: oysters. They named it after John D. Rockefeller, one of the wealthiest Americans at the time. It's oysters topped with an herb sauce and breadcrumbs. You know, people have been eating oysters here long before this place was even called New Orleans. And to learn more about that, I'm gonna go have lunch with my good friend Sierra Lagarde. We're gonna slurp down some oysters over at Bourbon House. Sierra, thank you so much for joining me over here at Bourbon House. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I want you to tell me a little bit about your background.
Yes, I'm Choctaw. So the Choctaw heritage of my family comes from the North Shore on Bayou Lacombe. A lot of our commute would be from over there to New Orleans.
You can chase your lineage back generations, obviously, right?
Yes, just from the French side, over 200 years.
Wow.
And that's going to the North Shore as well. And of course, in my native heritage side, thousands of years. We're always a friendly people. With the French, we actually intermarried a lot. So a lot of our culture we shared, as well as language. A lot of Choctaw words come from French, and a lot of French words come from Choctaw.
The city of New Orleans, the name itself had a different name way back then. What's that name?
Bulbancha.
Bulbancha.
Bulbancha, yes. It translates to a land of many tongues. Bulbancha in the land of many tongues, that didn't just mean the area of what is now New Orleans today, but it actually refers to the land surrounding all of the Mississippi.
So pretty much the Delta.
Exactly. You had villagers that lived all up and down those coastlines, particularly with the different dialects, but you still had that trade language.
We've been sitting here now and we just got some beautiful oysters. These things to me are like gold. I think we need to dive in.
All right.
Speaking of oysters, tell me a little bit about the kind of food that Native Americans either ate or survived on.
Starting from my culture, yes, we did harvest oysters, and we would even fish, not in the traditional way that you would think. We would take split river cane, and the Mississippi Choctaw would do this as well, and make sort of V-shaped dams and kind of lower the fish into it and just scoop them up. We used everything. People don't realize just the plant life, how many uses they had, you know, just from basket weaving, but also for netting and trapping.
There's this thing that I heard, it's called mittens, right?
Yes. Mittens are like tiny mounds that we have. I like to say it as good use of our waste. They consisted of, let's say, like oyster shells. You know, predominantly oyster shells, animal bones. Sometimes you would find arrowheads or stone that we traded from up north that we no longer used. And
This was just a pile?
a pile, but a constructed pile, if you would say, you know, and it's found all along the coastlines, even in woods and along the bayous. And a lot of times we did that to protect the environment. It wasn't just there randomly. And a lot of people think that, oh, well, these are just random discarded waste. And it's not. Everything we did had a meaning and had a purpose to it.
So it wasn't just a bunch of people sitting around eating oysters and throwing
Right,
shells.
no, it wasn't like that.
It was
at all.
strategic.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. One tribe in particular, the Biloxi Chitimacha Choctaw Band of the Isle de Jean Charles, is literally being encouraged to move completely off their coastal land in Louisiana. Climate change refugees, if you will. The land has eroded tremendously over the years, and now, even to this day, like, you drive down there and it's all water. When I first had a conceptual idea of what New Orleans was, I mean, we would go down there to go fishing, and there was land as far as the eye could see. And now you go down there, there's a straight road and just nothing but water on both sides. We lost an area the size of Rhode Island since the 1930s. It's a delta, and deltas compact and sink. And usually New River floods add new sediment that makes up for the sinking. And then there's sea level rise, and a lot of other factors like canal cutting and hurricanes. We went down to the docks and they were bringing in boats of seafood, crab, redfish, and I threw like a little seafood stew together. That's what like living off the land is. It's like grabbing those ingredients right then and there, cooking it up, and just experiencing like, you know, life at the dinner table with friends and family. Wow, keep it coming. Don't even stop.
Really good. This reminds me of being home. And this is how we would eat it, raw.
Yeah.
We wouldn't fry it or anything because actually that's really bad for us. You know, we never had fried foods.
Really?
So just how it came out of the Gulf and where we would catch them, how we ate it.
You know, it's crazy to think that somebody at long time ago had to get in the water and pull one of these out and say, you know what? I think I want to see what's inside because I want to eat it. I mean, that's like literally survival,
Right.
You really don't know until you try it.
Either they were very hungry or very brave. They did this.
Both. There's a few things that we eat here in this city of New Orleans, but also in the state of Louisiana. Cornbread, mashu, even couscous.
Couscous,
Grits.
yes.
Do you consider those to be Native American?
Definitely, yes. That was one of the things that we shared, was how our process of making cornbread and grits. Makshu, I know when you go to a lot of restaurants in New Orleans, it's on a side dish, it's marketed as an authentic Creole dish, you know, and it's really good. And in some ways, it does have a Creole twist to it with some of the seasoning. But originally, it is Muskogean. Muskogean, that means Southeastern. I think the one thing us as natives in general want people to know is when they think about us and our culture, I don't want them to think of us as tragic and a tragedy, because we're not. You know, we're still here, and the fact that we still exist is a testament to our resilience and our resistance. You know, that's actually a saying in Indian country, our existence is our resistance. But we have allies, native and non-natives, that are here, that are working with us to help provide sustainable living conditions and preserving our culture as well.
Tell you what, thanks again for coming. Let's eat up.
All right, sounds good.
Craving more? Check out PBS and Eater's new season of No Passport Required. Join Chef Marcus Samuelson on a journey across the U.S. to celebrate the incredible immigrant traditions and cuisine woven into American food and culture. Tune in or stream the show on the PBS video app. Head to the link in the description below for more.